What made me ultimately go to law school and pursue a career in the law is I grew up in a small rural town here in Texas that really reminded me of the book To Kill a Mockingbird. We had some families who the law seemed to apply equally to, and some that it didn't. And I just happened to be friends with kids from both of those families. And I always thought that becoming an attorney was a way to help fix things. Number one, the biggest challenge that I faced. I'm the first person in my family to have ever gone to law school, to have ever really graduated from college in generations. And so I didn't have the background, the family support. It was a struggle to not have that foundation at first, but it's not an impossible thing to get over.
There's a lot of challenges in law school, obviously, I think everyone knows that. I think one of the harder ones for me was being comfortable with like networking or figuring out exactly what I wanted to do if it wasn't going to be the particular area that I decided about going into law school in the first place. No matter what you enjoy, there are so many different opportunities. So I think narrowing down is a really hard challenge for me, and I think a lot of people in figuring out exactly whether or not you even want to practice law, because you don't have to coming out of law school. So I would encourage people going to law school to do that, is to spend your time there figuring out exactly what you want out of the experience.
I can definitely say that for myself, I went in without any real understanding of the financial pressure of going to law school. You're really guided not to work while you're in law school. It's a very demanding process. It takes up a lot of your time, and to do it well, I think I ultimately do agree. You probably should be focused on being a student instead of trying to work. But the reality of that means that, unless you have figured out how to get a scholarship, it is just stressful.
Man, the LSAT, I can barely remember. I feel like you can ask most lawyers that, and they only ever remember the bar exam because that was the harder one.
Well, I can tell you what not to do. So my approach to studying for the LSAT was I couch surfed with a friend who had done well on the LSAT, and I asked if maybe they could tutor me a little, give me some hints. And I spent a lot of time studying for the logic games on the LSAT. And I do think that that is, for most people, where you can make up the most ground in terms of your raw score.
It's a good primer for law school because doing the prep work for the LSAT takes a lot of hard work and dedication and planning, and those are all things that will show up both in law school and for the bar exam and for your eventual practice. So.
In hindsight, I really wish that I had gone ahead, found the money, and paid for the best prep class that I could possibly get. However many thousands of dollars the best prep class may cost, that will in turn save you a huge amount of money and stress if that means that you can get a partial or a full scholarship to go to law school.
Professors and practicing attorneys and older law students, they all know the process way better than you do as a new law student. So yeah, I'd say definitely network as much as possible.
I wish that I had spent more time getting to know the professors. I think a lot of people say that, but I actually had the unique opportunity to work alongside my law school professors when I graduated. That was my first job out of law school.
You definitely need to go to office hours as much as possible, learn about them. They see versions of you every year, and they know more about you than you do at that time. So I would say networking, I know it's a scary word. Learn that it's not a scary word and that most people out there are just nice to talk to. So.
Time management. Learn to manage your time to not only do what you need to do to meet your responsibilities, but also give yourself a little slice of personal time so you don't go completely crazy.
The best advice that I ever got in terms of figuring out your work-life balance and also your time management is that really effective time management is a skill that's developed over time, and it takes practice. And so you need to be really thoughtful and mindful about what are the activities that restore energy and fill you back up. And then you have to be really strict and deliberate about making sure that those times in your week are protected. There's plenty of stress built into the process of law school. And so really, I think you need to strategically try and remove as much stress from the other areas of your life as possible so that you can just manage the stress that is inherent in the law school process and still do well at it. If you take a bar prep class, which I highly recommend that you do, and you complete, the number is somewhere between like 70 and 80% of the material, there's a nearly 100% pass rate after you pass that 78% of the material completion mark. And so if you want to just not stress about it, if you want to make sure that you're going to be successful, it is almost as simple as just signing up for a bar prep class and then being diligent to actually work through at least 70 to 80% of the material.
The biggest misconception I think about the practice of law is that you actually don't have to practice law. You know, here at the State Bar, of course, like our mission is to equip lawyers with the tools they need to practice law. But so many people go to law school, and I don't think they know this, coming out and not practicing law. You know, it's just a door opener in general. And I think that's really important to understand, not something that I necessarily did. And I think a lot of people have misconceptions about is that law school is an intellectual exercise where you learn a lot about the world through law. It doesn't mean you have to come out and practice law. You can go and do a lot of things with that degree.
Hi, I'm Nick Goddard.
I'm Cole Cable.
My name's Joshua Weaver.
I'm a publications attorney at the State Bar of Texas.
I'm a publications attorney at the State Bar of Texas.
Proud alumni of St. Mary's School of Law.
Proud alumni of Southwestern Law School.
I'm the director for the Texas Opportunity and Justice Incubator, otherwise known as TOJI, for the State Bar of Texas, and I am a proud double Baylor Bear. Sic 'em.